pants on, but if I put my suit jacket on top of everything else, and I'll still be presentable for a job, especially since it's not the interview itself. I go with an air of caution, but I know what I need to get done today. And I know jump right into pants with my bad back and everything. It'll be difficult. Might bring my cane with me. These are always like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know, kind of thing, you know, because they're afraid of things. They have that air of fear in them still because they're young and they haven't really been subject to the real world. Some of them never really will be subject to the real world, and bless their hearts. Of course, you know, if I build enough rapport, it shouldn't be an issue with the staff, but with those students, sometimes that'll arise. There was a case at Towson University where she was saying you can't wear a full-blown mask. It was during COVID. I brought up some people were wearing like Halloween masks. One of the pizza guys at Little Caesars, because that was when Little Caesars used to be the cheaper option than Domino's, and it was super cheap back then. I used to go there a lot, and he was wearing a full-blown mask on his face. It was hilarious. It was like a clown mask. It was hilarious. But I had a friend of mine, I think it was, well, actually, this was before COVID. I think there was another person who did this too, where they went by the high school. They weren't like in the high school, but they were in that area going on the street. And during COVID, they were wearing like a Halloween mask, and they actually got asked to leave. Now, what's up, Aaron? And I thought that was silly because it's like, dude, like they tell us to wear a mask. They're wearing a mask. It should be just as efficient, if not more so. Oh, he's wearing a suit. If not more so. He's probably a missionary. Actually, let me ask. Oh, how you doing? How you doing? I think it's one of the missionaries. I might reach out to the Mormons in the community because I think that's a missionary back there. The missionaries are often young and inexperienced themselves, so it's good to reach out to them sometimes, give them a little bit of support in life. And I can speak their language too. Oh, what's up, user? I can speak their language too. I can say 2nd Nephi 2:20. Oh, fudge. 2nd Nephi 2. Oh, I think it's 21. Adam fell that men might be, and men are that they might have joy. I can speak their language. There are different ways to communicate across cultural and ethnic boundaries, and that's one of them. Thank you for subbing, user. I appreciate you. Yeah, right now I'm going to get a Jewish haircut. So I keep these, but the rest of this basically can go. It's summertime. I'm applying for new jobs. It's the end of the school year, so I want my students and other staff members to see me up to my best. And I don't know if I'm allowed to cut my beard in the halakha. So I'll leave that up to the barber to decide. I'll just tell them I want a haircut that is completely in line with the halakha. If you are not able to cut the beard because of the halakha, you know, that kind of thing. I might not even bring the beard up. I'll leave it to his discretion as to what he wants to do. As long as he's following the halakha, and I'll also tell him, yeah, anything that's not needed for the halakha, you can just cut that away. I do not need it. If I didn't choose to start following the halakha, I would probably just, at home, perhaps with the help of my mother, perhaps with just doing it myself, or maybe a friend, but maybe I'd ask Joey to come over, but I'd probably just shave it all off. And in those days, yeah, if I was still acting the way I used to, I'd probably shave the beard and the mustache off as well. Make myself look all nice and sexy. Although attractiveness varies. You know, some women like beard, some women like no beard, some people like lots of hair, some people like no hair, and there usually are specific additional variables that they consider. But as for myself, I have gotten to the point where I stop asking myself, what would my lover or a potential lover want to see in me? And instead I ask, what do I think is best that I do for myself? Right now it's following the halakha. Beyond that, it would be personal choice. What do I think looks best? Or in this case, what would be more comfortable during the hot summer weather, which would be shaving off as much as possible. I noticed that heavy emotions would arise within myself when I tried to make myself look the way another woman or women might like me to be. I would be unhappy with myself. And that adds a level of unattraction in the emotional and the social sense. It hurts your other interpersonal relationships. At the end of the day, if your partner doesn't like you the way you are or the way you want to be, tough. What's funny, I remember one woman, she convinced me to cut my hair at a time when I was growing it to donate to, I eventually got to this point where I was like, why do I feel the urge to grow my hair out? I eventually started donating the longer hair to little girls going through cancer and chemo. And it occurred to me, is this why, Almighty Creator, is this why you were pushing me to grow my hair out? And I donated like twice. I still have the hair for a third donation, but they stopped receiving mail-in donations, so I'll have to actually go to Ottawa, Canada to make the final donation if they still accept donations of 6 inches. But in any case, yeah, my ex-girlfriend convinced me to cut my hair. And I did, and I looked very good. But there was something I noticed, those heavy emotions, and I became angry. And what happened afterwards is when she decided to get a tattoo, and I personally thought that tattoos, the designs could look beautiful, but that the tattoos on a human just looked unattractive to me, and I didn't like that, and I voiced my opinion there. And instead of getting the same reaction that I gave her, she actually employed her free will and her boundaries to such an extent that it actually was hurtful. But she was like, basically like, you know, you don't accept me as who I really am. You don't really know me, etc., etc. And this is, of course, to be fair on her, this was during a time period when I was going through a lot of heavy burdens myself. And so was she. I mean, she was going through a lot. But I noticed something. A lot of times, quite frequently, your partner, beautiful bird, your partner will quite frequently ask you to do things. And if you ask them to do similar things, they will put up the boundary. So with this, I wish it would have been nice if I had that revelation at the time. I'd probably still be with her if I had along other revelations. But the reality is, if your partner asks you to do something and you don't want to do it, you're more than welcome to say no. If they leave you because of that, they're not for you. And you have to consider that if I ask them the same thing that they're asking from me, or a similar thing, will they respond by doing it or by setting up boundaries? They are more likely to engage in the latter. They're more likely to set up a boundary. What does this all equate to? The realization that if you try to change for anybody because they ask you to, you're probably making a bad decision. Maybe they're even testing you to see if you're strong enough to put up boundaries or aware enough to put up boundaries. Maybe they're even, maybe they're not even aware enough themselves of the situation. Maybe they haven't, maybe like I was in that situation, maybe they themselves haven't built the reflection. If I ask this from this person, what if they ask something similar from me? How will I respond? To me, that's a profound I'm all right. I got a lot of allergies going on right now. My throat, my nose. Many times people wonder if I'm going through a rough time because of the things I say, or my sniffles, or my breathing. Asthma, allergies, diabetes, bad back, bad knees. I try to push it out of my mind. Obviously, other people see these things. And of course, the way I talk about things, too. People often want just complete love and presence all the time, or in the time. I don't know if I'll bore you if I tell them, but I am getting things done. That's why I'm driving right now. And yeah, I might not be all sunshine and flowers right now, but I can't afford to be that all the time. It takes up too much energy. When I am legitimately at my happiest might be, well, it's difficult. It might take a few decades to get there. And by that point, I'll be at my 70s, so we'll see how it goes. But that's why I'm trying to do the work now, in the hopes that hopefully within the next few years I'll be where I want to be. And happiness isn't something I have to force out of myself, but can actively engage in from the pure self. And hopefully medical science will be a little bit more progressed, so that if I have the resources to afford it, hopefully I can, hopefully in my 70s, hopefully I'll feel like I'm in my 50s. You know what I mean? Or actually, I wouldn't be in my 70s by that point, sorry. I would be close to my 70s. I would be 66. And did I say 40 years? I don't know. In any case, yeah, I'm completely fine. What you're probably referring to is probably my health conditions, which I can't control. Like, I have to explain this every day, and I'm getting more used to explaining it. Sometimes it's still stressful, and it still feels toxic when people are always asking me, "Are you okay? Has it been a long day?" Blah blah blah. I would be much happier if people stopped asking me that, because when it comes to my asthma and things like that, it's not something I really want to think about a whole lot. I've had asthma since I was 2 years old, if not younger. I don't want to think about that every waking moment for the next 40 or 50 years, however long I live. I want to be thinking about that forever. And with that, you're all gone. I'm putting a boundary up, so you can leave. You can leave. I'm putting a boundary up. I don't like people asking me that. If you ask me that, you will put me in a bad headspace. So, like it or not, that's the boundary I'm putting up. And if you don't want to stay for it, don't ask. Yes, it is dangerous. I need thee every hour, O Lord of mine, whose precious blood for me is mine. I need thee, oh, I need thee, precious Lord, I need thee. Come to me, my Savior, I come to thee. That Mormon missionary reminds me. In a lovely desert where the saints of God have met, there's an array of children all around. They are beautiful and brave, they have precious souls to save. They are ready to hear the gospel sound. Hark, 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 'tis children's music. Children's voices, oh how sweet, when in innocence and love, like the angels up above, they with happy hearts and cheerful faces greet. That the children may live long and be beautiful and strong. Tea and coffee and tobacco they despise. Drink no liquor and they eat but a very little meat. They are happy. Something, 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 something. Hark, 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 'tis children's music. Children's voices, oh how sweet, when in innocence and love, like the angels up above, they with happy hearts and cheerful faces greet. They must not forget to pray night and morning every day, for the Lord to keep them safe from every ill, and instruct them to do right, that with all their hearts and might. Something, 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 something. Hark, 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 'tis children's music. Children's voices, oh how sweet, when in innocence and love, like the angels up above, they with happy hearts and cheerful faces meet. They must be instructed young how to guard and bind the tongue, and the tempest and their evil passions bind. Something, 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 something. Hark, hark, hark to children's music. Children's voices, oh how sweet, when in innocence and love, like the angels up above, they with happy hearts and cheerful faces greet. Adonai, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Bamidbar, korkorek an Bamidbar. Sheva Hashilo, Sheva Hashir. Baruch Shem Kodsho, Baruch Adonai, Baruch Shem Kodsho. Barashit bara Elohim et hashemaim ve'haaretz haytatochu v'bochu v'choshecha p'nei tehom v'ruach Elohim merachafet al p'nei hamayim. Barashit 1:1-3. Ana Adonai Hoshiana, Ana Adonai Hatzlichana. Tehillim 1:18-25. In orkein halogas kai halogas in proston theon kai theos in halogas. Yochanan 1:1. Kol haneshima tahaya hallelujah. Tehillim 150. Adonai Teshi Kachani Netzach. Tehillim 13:1. Ashrei Haish Asher Lo Halach Ba'atzat Reshaim. Tehillim 1:1. Iha Cosmos. Humas. Yochanan 15:18a. It almost feels as though I am a wealthy man in a poor man's body. I know how to do things in romance and in daily interactions the way by which the wealthy and the rich do, but I don't always have the energy or the mental strength in the darkness of my days to accomplish those things. I often come off as trashy in my daily interactions. It's unfortunate because I am so much more when I have the energy and these resources available to me, but I just don't have that. And I don't know that I ever will. Oh, it's... perhaps sometimes best to just let others think what they will, but there are other times when I have to communicate certain things. I am under incredible duress. I am under a lot of physical and the emotional strain, and I will not be able to engage in the kind of profound poetry that many would desire of me and that I'm fully capable of at my best. It's a shame. I think in the meantime, the best thing I can do is to stop focusing so much on my deeper connections, because those require so much energy and so much intentionality, and to simply focus on getting a better job and getting a better job and getting a better job, and maybe in 5 years I'll be close to where I need to be, or at least out of the mire. In 10 years I might be exactly where I need to be. And cutting off those relationships for 10 years, maybe longer, is going to be kind of hellish, but especially for them. But I don't know what else. I think even in my romantic relationships, I need to press for that childhood innocence, or at least, maybe not childhood, adolescent innocence, where even a kiss was a major win. If I can get back to that mindset, I think I can be a better lover. But even getting to that kiss will require me to get done the things I need to get done. So doing it one thing at a time until I get there, but that could take decades. I know she doesn't want to hear that. Oh, I also need to get bills paid today, sooner rather than later. I don't think I have anything to write on, and I have to keep my eyes on the road. Thank you, Adonai. Yeah, bills are a big thing. Okay, I see you, buddy. I see you. Well, that wouldn't have been an issue if you weren't trying to get past me, though. I can do this. I can make this. And even a simple interview would be a massive win. So vacation is almost here, so that'll be huge. In a way. Well, I'll stay without a second job for a while, which will mean heavy pressure on my bills. At this point, I either make it or I don't. think I'll take the hike after Walmart. Right now, the plan is go here, get my hair cut, go to Towson University, get some networking done. Now, I don't know where I'm going to park at. There's usually some space I can park with my hazards on. Will I get a ticket? Maybe. I might look to see if I can find visitor parking. That costs a lot of money, though. I don't know if I want to pay $10 or risk a $30 fine. Despite that, some of my drives seem to be associated with a potential data or hack, potential virus. I'm going to have to open those drives because they have the information that I need on them. That's going to be even more work. Ugh. How you doing, NGA? Yeah, I got some unfortunate advice about those drives, and there's nothing I can do now but sift through them. Today's going to be a lot of hell, but I'm going to push through it all. going to reach out to that friend, I think, momentarily. You guys have a good day.